The moment a child starts playing a game seriously, he is a winner in life. Because it doesn't matter even if he doesn't win medals, but he learns so many things through sport, which helps you to become better human being, better employee, better entrepreneur, better leader in the world. Because, like say, if my daughter tomorrow fails in one subject in 10th standard, I can hide it. Nobody need not know. But if my child plays in tournament and badminton in the public, if she loses, she's losing in front of everybody. The whole world knows that she lost. So my daughter also knows she lost in front of people. She has to come back, swallow the defeat, next day go back to the court, train again enter tournament, play again, win. So there are things only a sport can teach.
Hi Prasad, it's lovely to have you as a special guest in our podcast, and thanks for accepting our request.
Hey, thanks Swami, thanks for inviting me. I think it's my first podcast experience. I'm so glad I'm doing it with you.
Having done your management from IIM Ahmedabad, worked in businesses, hospitality, pharma, where did you get this calling to get into sports development and sports marketing?
Swami, I think it all began because, I'm a complete sports nut. It's easy to count the sports that I don't follow, Otherwise, like from your Formula 1 to NBA to rugby to football to golf, cricket, tennis, I follow everything. So in the sense, I always was fascinated by this athletes, their performance, because in my opinion, actually the athletes are real heroes. Unlike your, let's say, heroes like films or elsewhere, these guys are the real, because they're performing live in front of you, and you can see their, the performance live, and there's no rehearsal for them, they don't get 10 takes to do one take thing. So it was obvious, I think, I was fascinated by their performance and how excited I was as a fan. So imagine if I'm actually part of that, let's say, industry, how much more it will be fun and energetic. So we felt, what is that about a 130 crore, people country? Can't we produce handful of at least champions in each sport? And we realized, I think, it is bound to happen. So why not we be a catalyst? Instead of always cribbing and say after every Asian Games, saying, hey, why didn't this happen? Who is the thing? Say let's take the plunge, dirty your hands and see what we can do. I mean, it's better than doing nothing. Okay. While we may not achieve our objective, but at least something will come out of it. So this is always in the back of the mind. So you won't believe, this is my 50th birthday gift for myself. In 2013, I said, this if I don't do it, that means I can't do it ever. Either do it now or never. So I remember speaking to my wife, and if we both are, we are Buddhist practitioners. So any major decision we take in life, we always chant first. So we both chanted for 6 months to be clear, to be confident, okay, this is your calling card. Because once we take the plunge, no going back. No, there's no thing. So I remember chanting for 6 months, and finally I was that time with a Mylan, which is a world's third largest generic company as a global business side. I'm doing pretty well. I was flying every week to a new country. I can throw a dart on the world map and say I can go to this country. It doesn't be easy to leave the job. And that time when I left, I didn't know where to start. I don't know where even the starting block to join the race. So I kind of did dabble in a bit of a consultancy here and there just to keep the bills going. Then I had an excellent meeting with my one batchmate called Atul Pandey, who was that time just resigned from 10 Sports CEO. So we got to and said, even though we're not good friends, but I think, we said, okay, let's do something in the sports. So that's where the journey of the brand, Sportzlive began. So we said, hey, let's choose an Olympic sports, because, cricket is saturated, and cricket in BCCI is that 800-pound gorilla in this room. We can't touch that. So we formed this company in 2015 beginning, and luckily within few months actually we got a funding from my former employer from Aurobindo Pharma family. So that really kind of bolstered our confidence level. So we went and acquired the volleyball league, and you won't believe I remember the date, February 25th. I think we had the press conference to announce very proudly our first league with the federation president, all of them, the full press at the Hotel Lalit in Delhi. And that evening, we get a news that saying that the secretary of the same federation held a parallel press conference in another hotel to announce another league. And a month before that, Swami, we paid the federation 11 crores as a DD, not in a check. At the final so-called EC committee meeting, where the volleyball federation, my partner went and gave this DD for 11 crores. So I believe when this money was given to the federation, that's when the president and the secretary, they both got suspicious of each other, because they never seen this kind of money. Because federations get some 70, 80 lakhs every year from the government. Suddenly they got 11 crores money with their own money. So they thought the other guy is going to eat up. So they both sacked each other, and the federation got dissolved, and it went to a legal case. And the funny thing is, the case is still going on. And we spent, Swami, I think must have spent almost close 2 crores on the case so far. It's still going on. And the league was sold to another agency and the company, and those guys decided to go ahead. They launched the league. They did one season, then it got shut down. So which we don't do, because we were very clear. If we do it, let's not, I think, not do anything which is like suspicious or like, which may not sustain. So we didn't go ahead that time. So then likely like we didn't, then we had to fight to get the money back. Then the money came back, we didn't know what to do. Then luckily like, we looked around and we found the PBL is like, as being, by the time it had been launched by the federation themselves. And we found they found very painful to do it themselves. So we met the president and said, hey, why don't you give it to us? You need professional guys to run. So luckily agreed. I remember 2016, September, I think 18 or 19, we signed the agreement with BI. And that's how the journey began. But like I said, that, this is my, like a sequel. My first was like 1998. I think you're aware of the Sterling Resorts. And Sterling Resort was a great stint for all of us. We learned a lot of things, did some amazing stuff. I was chosen as a marketing sales head. I was there. I did a great job for 2 years working with Greg Norman, all these people. We launched only by invitation membership. So I said, hey, let's do something. So I got into this company called Greyhound Marketing. And then we got an opportunity to co-market ATP tournament. Along with IMG was the main company, but we also, every year I got about 2-3 sponsors through me. But something what was interesting is, if you do sponsorship marketing, what you do, the organizers give you so many hoardings, ticket, logo, those standard deliverables. What I've done is, suppose if like one of my, let's say Paris Spirulina is my client. So they launched the Paris Spirulina. So their positioning was, this is equivalent to your entire day's protein requirement. So otherwise, if you have to eat some 1.5 kilos of green leaves, all the stuff. But this is one tablet give them. So what did I we actually brought them as a sponsor for this thing, and we did a promotion for the entire 1 week to promote, to show how this capsule can take care of your thing. So we had I remember a small contest where we put a 1.5-2 kilos of vegetables and green leaves in one bag and a tablet as well. We asked people, can you eat all this in 5 minutes time? Nobody could eat. But we told, but this is what you're supposed to eat every day. What do you do? Then we said, hey, there's an easier way to eat. Then we get tablet, said, can you take this now? Yes, this tablet can be taken in 10 seconds. So let this know, for each brand, we actually got something tangible out of the tournament, instead of just getting the hoardings, logo here, meet and greet, all the stuff. We even launched the DTH, like in 2000 at the tournament. So then, but unfortunately, like after 5 years, I think I had to wind up, and because Singapore Tourism Board came on board as my partner. Unfortunately, within 1 year, they actually walked out. So the bug was always there in the sport. So 2015 turned to be a right moment to get in.
Prasad, talk to me about, how did the Premier Badminton League happen? What was your dream? What was your vision? And how did this get into such a big event and scale that you had planned for? Walk me through it.
Swami, when we began, there's no template, because this league, except for the IPL, honestly, while it's a big success, it had all the ingredients. The cricket is already being paid for 50 years' time. There's a large fan following. Even people like you and me, we're all diehard fans. Like I traveled to London to watch Indian World Cup matches, and Sydney World Cup matches. Dubai I also went to recently. So it is already given thing there. So it's just the timing that Lalit Modi came and put together. But to create a non cricket Olympic sport league like this, where you have to where we don't have a legacy, where we don't have even the federation not that strong. Like it's not even today, badminton federation gets hardly some 10 to 14 crores a year from the government of India. In fact, to tell you, in the last 5 years, our investment in the ecosystem of badminton is close to 200 crores. We and the teams together, and the official figure for the same thing for last 5 years, government of India spent 67 crores in badminton. So we outspent the government of India by 3 times. So we didn't have a template. But what we were committed to is a thing, we believe in a great product. We have to create it right now. So we will do whatever it takes. So for example, there are so many naysayers. At one point, because I don't know if you're aware that in 2013, the league was launched by Federation in partnership with another person. But then it collapsed because the guy did not have the money to run it. So then 2015-16, when we launched it, the guy came back to sue us. But when we launched, when the first year went out very well, then he came back to sue the thing, and then also he took some help of some people in the federation also. So it's every single day there was some nasty surprise awaiting us. But then but now this whole idea of a thing of creating something because also we met Gopichan, and we were completely bowled out by him when we met him in 2015. So and we also brought him on as a mentor. So we have seen what is done in those before the 10-15 years time as one single person. If he could do it, because today whatever you see in the badminton ecosystem today, entire national team, they're all his students. He trained them at his academy in Hyderabad all by himself, with very little support of the federation. So we said if we could do that, hey, let's just let's think a little beyond that. And luckily, what happened is good or bad. I think we put the player's salary at a level where it was unheard of in the industry. Because even today, if a player wins a big tournament, let's say even Sana Nehwal, she gets to 20 lakhs or 24 lakhs. But here, we were giving 1.5 crores to the icon player category. Icon player gets 1.5 crores for one month tournament. And even the lowest level, a guy who's may not even play in the league, gets 20 lakhs. So that, and plus the prize money 6 crores. The winning team will get 3 crores. So whichever team won the first year, they broke even the very first year, broke even. So though it hurt us financially, in the sense we didn't really figure out what is the thing, but it attracted the best talent. So we had a very first year Lee Chong Wei, who is the iconic player, like Lee and the Lindan rivalry, like a Nadal versus Roger Federer thing. He came and played, he was so thrilled to be in the very first match. And surprisingly, he lost to Srikanth in the first match. So that really helped the Indian fans fired up. Here is that time Srikanth is still not such a big name, saying to beat Lee Chong Wei. It was a good start for us. And then 2016, Sindhu won the silver medal. So from then, I think this became global. And today, very very proud to say that our league is the world's #1 league. There's no other league, because in the leagues in the other countries happen over the weekend. Like Malaysia, China, it happens every weekend over a period of 6 months' time. So Lee Chong Wei might play this weekend for a club A, but he will not be there next weekend. It could be someone else will play. So this was the only format like IPL, where we, for the entire 1 month, there are teams, auction, people buy them, they stay together, play every single day. You play finals also. There's a champion and they leave. So that way the format is worked. Also, we also made it a little more exciting by what you call a Trump concept. So there is a match called Trump match. So the Trump match, when you play a Trump match, the team which places Trump on the player, if they win they get 2 points. If they lose they get -1. So that really kept the excitement, because that way every team fights the last match. So there were times when the team was trailing by 0-3, went on to to again get the 5 inning. So that's I think we made sure, I think in the same time Indian talent has grown. Because I can give example like, let's say, Satvik today, who is the world number 5 in the doubles. India never had any doubles legacy in the past. I remember 2017, I think he got 8 lakhs in the auction. 2019, he got 65 lakhs in the auction. His parents called and scolded us, saying, "You're spoiling a child. This guy is only a 19-year-old guy. I believe he want to buy a supercar, something." They said, "You're spoiling my child. Get the money." Can you imagine parents calling and saying, you're spoiling a child? And that today these guys are world beaters now. Today, if India is winning as a team in the Commonwealth Games, Asian Games, doubles also contributed. Earlier we had a singles player, but we had so we see similarly Lakshya Sen has grown today. He's a next big thing in the thing. And we had the guy called Pranay in season 3. He was unbeatable. He bet every single player in the tournament. Then he really believed himself and he went on to become world number 8 after that. Same with the Sai Praneeth. He won the World Championship bronze medal. So what happened, we're giving the platform where what happens is when these players go to a normal tournament, they're nervous because they have to win every round to get to think. Only if you win, if you lose the first round, you're gone. You have to go back to the home and then come for next tournament. But here what happens, if you're in a team, you're guaranteed to 7 matches guaranteed for you. You're playing all 7 matches. So even if you lose this match, you're getting one more chance. So then you can fix what mistakes you found in the last match, or you can experiment here. There's no fear here, and you'll get your money. Even if you lose, you get your money back. You get your full money. There's no any deductions. So that helped the players to really. And the other thing is what really helped us is we're putting the world's best people together. In a team, there are 5 Indians and 5 foreign players. So the foreign players could be Taiju, world number 1, Anderson. So these other 5 Indians are spending 1 whole month with these people in the dressing room, in the dugout, in the hotel, in the meetings. So they learn so much and they train together. So they learn so much together from these people. Also, what we found out later, because they came to know them very well, later on when they played them in the tournaments, they're not intimidated by the person. In a Taiju or a Anderson, he's not intimidating as in the past. Because now they played together, they spend time together, they know each other.
My next question, Prasad, is you've been instrumental in building a world-class badminton academy with Pulela Gopichand. So what was the experience like and why did you think this was important? And talk to me about working with Pulela Gopichand.
You know what I think when I met Gopi, I remember the very first meeting itself felt, man, I think this man must get his due in terms of recognition, visibility. Today I think there's no comparable sports icon in the country. For whatever worth you talk about the cricketer thing, this person, I think, the last count brought about 45 medals for the country. 40 medals, including Olympic, World Championship. Do you know that from the 2012 onwards, every World Championship we got medals. Every World Championship, we got a medal. They're all his students. So, but he did all this from one academy. So I told Gopi, it's not fair. Your expertise, knowledge should also spread. So, but he wasn't very clear how to go about it because he said it's a headache. Because, see, I think one more thing which people don't realize, Gopi, apart from being a coach, he survived 20 years in the system and produces people. So he dealt with, in the last 20 years, he dealt with 6 different presidents of the federation president. So he managed, 6 different presidents have come in the last 20 years' time. So he had to also manage these people to ensure the team selection, teams go, entries, they play, getting the money to even travel. Okay, now they're a little more comfortable. Even till 5 years back, they had to fight for tickets, they had to fight for accommodation. I'll give you a small anecdote, Swami. In 2018, I think I went to All England Championship with Gopichand and the entire Indian team. I went with them. So they're staying. So I stayed in the same hotel where they're staying. Second day, I came back to the hotel, and we all came back, and I saw Sindhu stretching herself in the corridor after the match, in the corridor with the trainer, because the rooms are too small. So I felt so embarrassed. So I told them, okay, I'm going to book a separate room at my cost, Sportzlive's cost, separate room for the players to stretch. Can you imagine By the time she's already a Olympic silver medalist, she's the pride of the country. She's stretching in like in the corridor. Whereas the other teams are staying in a Hyatt, whatever. We stayed in this small hotel because this is a budget they have. So I tell Gopi, please spread your net wider. So they give, for example, so far entire talent came from close to Hyderabad. Because that's how you set up the cake. All the guys, they're all Telugu guys, or Srikanth, Sai Praneeth, all these guys are VP. So nice, I think. So he finally convinced him. Luckily, then UP government has built a fantastic sports complex, and in Greater Noida, almost in 45 acres, 260 crores spending, and a spectacular stadium they built. So that time, the IS officer whom we approached, a very enthusiastic guy. So he agreed readily. He said, I'll give you the entire stadium for you guys to make your academy here. And normally, as a government plan, this protocol, they're supposed to do through the RFP and now for a tender base. But he said, in this case, because it's Gopi Chand, he said, I will waive off all this. I'll give it to you straight. We'll go straight to the MOU. So we signed up. And I'm telling you, it's like you got to see it. It is a 60,000 square feet stadium, 70 feet tall roof, 4,500 feet seater capacity, fully air conditioned. And they built 15 courts for us. So March 3rd, 2017, we launched our academy, the first academy of Gopi outside Hyderabad. Our logic also was, maybe I think, this, because the bone structure, the body build is different in the north. Maybe you'll find a different champions here. For example, I remember Gopi trying to teach Srikanth, Sai Praneeth, Sindhu to be aggressive on the court. Because from being the south and thing, they're not aggressive by nature. So I told Gopi, on the other hand, in north, you don't have to teach them how to be aggressive on the court. After every point, she'll go look at his opponent and maybe say something in Hindi, which is like BCMC kind of thing. So at least one portion, you don't have to worry about that. They should be aggressive. Apart from their body structure, bone structure, everything. So that's what we launched it. Unfortunately, again, now it's shut because the COVID happened in 2020. We're already losing 1 crore every on that because it is not a commercial academy. We were choosing place only through trials to produce champions. And numbers fixed. Total number 80 out of 80, 30 were scholarships. So, but we are spending almost 1.6 crores every year on that. So 2021, when this came, these guys want to revise the figures and double the lease. We had to pay for AC also. It was becoming really unviable for us. We shut down last year. But 3 years, we produced about 14 champions who could become the next champions of the country at the under 11, under 13, under 15, under 17. I remember one incident. I think every 3 months we used to have a trials. So what we used to drop 5 students, take fresh 5 students. So I remember once we announced a trial, one parent came to our office with our bags, everything. He tells us very proudly in Hindi, आज मेरे बच्चे का एग्जाम था, मैंने उसको बोला एग्जाम भूल जाओ, यहाँ चलते हैं. So उसने एग्जाम छोड़ दिया, यहाँ आया. I said, पागल है क्या? Like, no, why are you doing that? No, you should at least let the exam be over. नहीं सर, ये इसको बैडमिंटन खेलना है, इसको बस यही खेलना है. So a guy just came from Meerut or somewhere with a baggage to, he said like, ये तो आज से ही रहेगा. He assumed that he'll get an entry. He said he'll stay here only. Luckily, he got through. Then he's like, no, yeah. But we didn't have hostel that time. So these guys had to take a rooms close by to train.
Prasad, if India has to become a sports superpower, what do you think are the fundamental infrastructure and ecosystems that need to be put in place? What's lacking today and what needs to be done?
He just, something, it has to start at the grassroots, I think, Swami. You can't see today what's happening is, there are a lot of cherry picking happening. Suppose there is an athlete who comes to this level, whichever way, through one coach or one parent thing, then you have a corporates like Adani's, JSWs, they swoop on them, take them, they're anyway, they reach already the international level. And then what happens when they become medal winners? They take credit for it. But the journey begins from the age of 9, 10, Swami. So you need, let's say today if there are 1 lakh players playing badminton in India country, okay? Suppose if tomorrow, if we say, imagine 40 lakh children are playing the badminton. level. Then the competition at every level ensures the guy who's going up is the best. Like other day, okay, in fact, I can open my own WhatsApp. I gave so many suggestions to the government of India over a period of time. Every time I go to Delhi, I meet the authorities, keep giving them ideas and tips to them. Okay, so I told them, for example, there's something called a Khelo India Games. It's the biggest event in the country right now. Mr. Modi's pet event. All the school students come and compete in this one. I told them, take your any one event, let's say 100 meters. The guy who won last year in a Khelo India Games, compare his timing with a Europe level, Asian level, and see what is the gap. Because if he is a champion of India as the under 17 champion, compare him with the Europe and Asian, and then see is the gap bridgeable. The gap is not bridgeable, even if it's because they were giving 5 lakhs per year to each student of who wins it. So, but are you investing money on a guy who can't make it to the Olympics? But that because today the competition is not so stiff. But suppose this guy had to go through at every stage, he had to fight very hard. Then the timing which he comes will be maybe closer to the Asian level, whatever. So you need the competition at every level. That to fair competition. India, one more point we realize is the huge of age fraud, age fudging. This is so much in North because logic is if you become even a state champion, it seems, you get a sports quota job in the government. So what they do is in the under 15 May, they put a 17-year-old guy. They bring a fraud certificate. So you play under 17, under 15, but you're a 17-year-old guy. So you win the tournament. Same the ratio. So under 19, you're already a 20-year-old guy, but you come with a under 19 certificate, you play, you win. So you get a certificate saying that you're a state champion. Go to some food corporation of India or a SAIL or a Punjab police and gets a job. So the process, genuine students like to suffer. So you need at the grassroots level, and plus, Swami, where are the grounds for children to play? See, the best place to perform and learn a game is a school, and most schools don't even have a game playgrounds, and most cities also the playgrounds are disappearing. And every city has only one big stadium. Even in your Chennai, you only have a new stadium only there. After all these years, you only have one big stadium. So you need infrastructure. You need, I think, incentive for the children thing. Today, parents are going to pay. In fact, I suggested to them, suppose if the parent puts a child in the academy and paying 8 rupees per month, give them tax breaks. Just like you're giving a tax break on health insurances, this way, give a tax break to the parents who are investing money on the child. Just imagine if every child, in fact, our philosophy is like, forget about the winning and the champions. Every child, if he plays a sport regularly, seriously, he's already a winner in life. This is the philosophy of Gopichan. The moment the child starts playing a game seriously, he is a winner in life. Because it doesn't matter even if he doesn't win medals, but he learns so many things through sport, which helps you to become better human being, better employee, better entrepreneur, better leader in the world. Because, like say, if my daughter tomorrow fails in one subject in 10th standard, I can hide it. Nobody need not know. But if my child plays in tournament and badminton in the public, if she loses, she's losing in front of everybody. The whole world knows that she lost. So my daughter also knows she lost in front of people. She has to come back, swallow the defeat, next day go back to the court, train again enter tournament, play again, win. So there are things only a sport can teach. So it is imperative that every child, in fact, I like the right to education, they must be right to play, act. Every child, because when a child plays a sport, apart from all these things, he becomes a healthy person physically, mentally a healthy person. So imagine, we even told somebody like, it may save you 2% of healthcare costs after 10 years time. If one generation goes through playing a sport seriously, everybody, so they become healthier. Today, India is a diabetic capital, like hypertension capital, cardio capital. So if you can bring down the number of this diabetic patients, number of things, your pressure on the healthcare system, we're not like a Western country there, we have such a solid, I think, healthcare system. So This is where I said a thing, and the place, the money has to come at the grassroots level. Today, the money, Sindhu gets 5 crores. How will it help? If you give Sindhu 5 crores, it won't bring 10 medals. But with the 5 crores, I can produce at least 100 champions at the grassroots level. So those are misplaced, I think, priorities right now in the country. So schools should take initiative. That's why, I don't know if I told you, there's a school called Gaudium. You can just Google after. Gaudium is a school which I was involved from the scratch. See that. So students in Gaudium have to play 2 sports every single day. It's a spectacular school. It is produced to produce champions. It has 21 academies inside the school, including a squash academy. Yeah, it has the best gymnastics academy in the entire country. So it has to be a concerted effort, I think, Swami. Like now, there are parents willing to put children. But for example, I can't take today. The nearest academy for me is about 8 kilometers from here. My daughter has come back from 4 o'clock. She has to change, then get into a car, and again go to this academy in the traffic and come back. And these days it's not safe to send your child along with a driver. Somebody has to go. So we need to create the opportunities for children. Just let them play. Out of this 10,000 people, 10 will definitely be champions. So that culture is missing right now, I think, sporting coaching. It's all credit-taking culture right now. You wait for somebody to bring the child to this level, then you grab the person and say, hey, come, he's my product. Whether Jindals, or Adani, Reliance, or all the people.
Contra Minds is a podcast dedicated to decoding people, minds, strategy, and culture. We interview and learn from high performers so that you can apply these lessons on your journey to becoming the knowledge worker athlete you were meant to be. The Contra Minds podcast is available on all leading podcast players, and if you are interested in revisiting past episodes or taking a look at our show notes from this episode, please visit us at www.contraminds.com/blog. And now, back to the show.
Prasad, whenever we think of sports, coach and coaches are the most important foundation for building champions. And what's really the infrastructure in India? How do you really get certification for the best coaches? Who is the best coach? So what needs to be done here?
True, because right now, why don't have coaches? In fact, there's a huge problem for us in badminton because, we in India, I think 40% badminton coaches are foreigners, Indonesians, Malaysians, because those countries have a lot of coaches that come here. That's because the ecosystem is not there. If suppose you played badminton, let's say at state level, you retired now. So if there's opportunity for you to become coach, if you can earn enough money, for your family, suppose if you can earn 9 lakhs a year. Why won't you take up the coaching? Because it's a game which you played, it's a game which you like. So if you can make money out of the game, why won't you become a coach? So then he will certainly probably go through some certification course, whatever. But today, even today, Swami, is sad. I think average coach gets about 3 lakhs a year salary. 3 lakhs. And when you bring a foreign coach, we pay 7-8 lakhs foreign coaches. So 3 lakhs, he may be earning more by going to some call center, executive, right? Same guy. If he gets trained himself, go join some call center or a customer service something, or even a Swiggy something, maybe get more money than that. So that's the thing today. That's why I think Gopi himself launching his own coaching academy right now, coaches, because he himself is launching 4 more academies. And incidentally, what I didn't talk about so far is my dream was to take Gopi's brand international. I'd done that in the last October 9th. We launched Gopi's Academy in Dubai. Gopi, we formed a company. Even Gopi is also a stakeholder company. We formed a company in Dubai. We launched the first academy in Dubai. Now there are 4 academies in Dubai. And September 3rd for launching Qatar, Bahrain. We'll go to Saudi, we'll go to Kuwait, we'll go to Oman. By 2024, we'll have at least 20 centers teaching Gopi's curriculum in these countries. And now we also converted his coaching into a 225-page manual. We created a manual which will be distributed very, very shortly. And we're going to create an app. So every child, whether it's in Qatar, Bahrain or thing, he will start with how to hold the grip from Gopi's knowledge, expertise. Today, what happens is, suppose today you put your child in some neighborhood guy. So your child is learning from that guy based on his expertise, based on his proficiency, right? That is the he learning basis from them. Suppose the same child were to learn the basics from the someone like Gopi's thing, manual, it will be different, results. Also, other thing what happening is, let's say if you send your child to a neighborhood academy, the guy suppose he played 5 years back, retired, his knowledge learning is stopped. That's why he is teaching you from the expired knowledge. Whereas Gopi, being a national coach even today, he's traveling, he's still training children, people. He's watching Koreans, Japanese, Indonesians. He's got a team who will study their tactics and becomes input for him, and he upgrades his own training, because what he was training Sindhu 5 years back is different now. So, in the sense, when with Gopi's coaching manual, which will be updated every 3 months' time, we are constantly giving the latest technology training now, which is not the case with any other neighborhood academy. So we plan to launch an app very soon, like with all this stuff later on.
One of the things that really worries me, and I think it's important to put this in perspective. There's just that 1% of the sports people who become champions, but the rest of the 99% who have a dream, who have an aspiration, really don't make it to the top. So what does it take for the society, for the sports authority to take care of these people, and what needs to be done there?
Brilliant, I think, Swami. You reach a very hit a valid point. I'll share the article with you after this call. Gopi, this bothers Gopi all the time. He's saying, if I get 100 students into my academy, eventually one may go to become the Olympic champion. But the other 99, hello, you're there? So the other 99, they leave the sport with the bitter feelings because they feel I fail. So he is more worried about the people who don't make it than the people who make it. So I think, we actually constantly, counsel them saying, play the sport, which will make you a better, what are you going to do in life later on? While you may not, I think, become champion, but wherever you go, you can actually become a thing. And now also, we're trying to create a pathway for them in systems of they can become a sports science, or they can become the fitness trainer, they can become coaches, they can become, a counselor themselves. So that's one thing. And secondly, just 2 months back, we decided that we'll approach NHRD, the national HRD body, to say, why don't you guys, consciously take sports person into jobs, private jobs. If there are two guys with all equal qualifications, if you have a guy who played sport till a certain level, take that guy, because he's bring this additional, traits 1, 2, 3, 4. He's a team player. He knows how to overcome challenges. He's disciplined. He's dedicated. So we actually want to, I think, talk to this NHRD and say, consciously take sports persons. Plus, now we're also looking at the occasional, for these people. In fact, this was, do you know Mohammad Yunus, Nobel Prize winner from Bangladesh. So he was in a webinar about 1 year back with Abhinav Bindra, myself, Gopi Chen, this guy. And that day we brought that lady, that Shindia's sister. She's a Madhya Pradesh minister of education. So she took the idea of that. She said, hereafter, all the students who are training in our academies in Madhya Pradesh or coaches, we will provide them parallelly vocational training. Because they play for 6 hours time. So based on their skill sets, give them the training thing. Maybe some language skills, could be public speaking, could be some, vocational thing. So this is something which should, I think, we should happen. I think there should be a really very policy as more people come to sport ecosystem. When they leave, they should have some pathway. They should not feel like, shit, I made a mistake by joining sport. Nobody should say that. One thing is that, if Indian sports ecosystem grows, all these people can become part of the system itself. They can become coaches, counselors, whatever thing. And they can. In fact, now many of them become the entrepreneurs. Many of them become the entrepreneurs. The coach, they'll find some sponsor, who will give them 40, 50 lakhs to set up an academy and start training. So that's how it's happening, morely by the benevolence of some people. But it should become this way. I think corporates can come in, CSRs can come in and say, no, we will support.
Prasad, my next question is sponsorships and corporates are really the bedrock of some of these sponsorships, and most often a lot of money gets thrown into the biggest sports. So what is needed for corporates to really build a ecosystem of great sportsmen, which is probably beyond cricket, if we have to become a sports power of scale that the world looks up to? So what needs to be done by brands and corporates to really support sports in the country?
So even if you are a promoter of a large company, even if you have a 5-10 crore CSR money, you can't put the money where you want to spend, because this country still has so many other challenges, basic challenges. So governments, because the easy money for them is a CSR fund. Very few really company. Only Tata Group has for last 50-40 years time they've been actually involved in the sport for all these years at a grassroots level. In Jamshedpur they run academies, all that stuff. But here as an entrepreneur, suppose if you spend the money with the minister's consciency, tomorrow you can get something out of him. So where will you spend money? If you give that 2 crores, build a school in the minister's consciency, that thing tomorrow, you can go to the guy and say, ask for favors. So they're not, I think, so now I think that's why somebody approached me for a business idea where they want to create a forum where I think, we can actually start crowdsource funding linked back to back. Today, there are people who do the thing, but here, suppose tomorrow if I start myself crowdsource funding, I can take that money and also invest on that. At least I know who they are. I know who got the potential. I know where to put them. Their nutrition, everything, I can take care of that. So we try to plug these gaps. See, India, we have to find solutions slowly. Very difficult to find transformations or solutions at this kind of level. But I think yes, since you talk about sponsorship, I want to give an anecdote. I met one company in Chennai some 3 years back for a sponsorship actually. So I know they spent about 4-5 crores every year on CSK. Even though their brand is not visible, because after the IPL is over, if you do a survey to brand recall, the brand never will be recalled, because there are honestly out of 109 brands which invested in the IPL, only 11 brands are recalled, because those 11 brands also spend more money promoting themselves. Right? So I asked the marketing head, why does this guy spend money when nothing? Sir, that guy spends money because he's got Dhoni's number in his contact list. Every year he sits with Dhoni to watch a match. He takes selfie with Dhoni. He can call Dhoni. So the guy is willing to spend 4 crores just to have the selfie with the Dhoni. Same with the Virat Kohli, whatever. So today even the society has not really woken up to the importance of sport, just beyond the sport, as what sport can do to society. Parents are waking up, but not the authorities are because I remember 3 months back I got the big man Sports Authority of India, Sports Ministry called me and said, Prasad, I want to write my own KRAs. Help me for next 3 years time. So I said, have only one single KRA. Don't go with viewership. Go with participation. Remember, today, if a sport, each sport has so many people playing, after 3 years, just see how many people are pursuing the sport. That's the growth. Once done that happens, everything will just get pushed up it will work out. So don't go because they think Kabaddi has 1.5 TRP rating, it's successful. But how many people take up Kabaddi? How many academies have come up? Whereas if it's a cricket, there is soccer, there is hockey, there is badminton, there are people. It's a participative growth. People take up the game after watching it.
What would be your advice to an 18-year-old in an university or college today?
University or college today, I think. Well, I think just fortify yourself as a human being. If you can fortify yourself as a human being, because you don't know what challenges might come. Even if you go to the best job in the world, you may face challenges. Okay, tomorrow even if you get married to the best whatever person, At every walk of life, you'll feel challenges. Today, Swami, we live in a sad world where you have people like IITians committing suicide. Can you imagine, like, no guy who's gone to IIT committing suicide? You think the guy's very made in life. That's because, like, human beings, I think, while you may go materialistically in terms of a thing, but as a human being, you become weaker and weaker. Why do you think today? Why is there so much trolling on the online? Because you're unhappy. Who will today? If I'm talking to you, my tone, will be depend on like what I'm inside, right? So today, I think the problem is because of the pressure in the world. So if you can actually fortify yourself, like you can overcome anything because you don't know what may come in your way. Similarly, even what you're achieving also, you can achieve much more than what you can achieve without a thing. So just strengthen your human values, and just make sure you're in a good frame of mind all the time, which is not affected by your happiness around you. Because if your mind condition keeps changing based on what happened in the last incident, then you're like the leaf in the in the wind. Was be like the banyan tree, which which can withstand anything. If you can do that, that's why the school which I talked about, Gaudium, instantly Gaudium, the name logo is done by Ananta. Just talk to him. He's involved from the day one. So this school focus on children's happiness. It's called the baseline is called sculpting happy minds. Because our logic is simple: children are born happy, but as they grow, they lose the power of the happiness because of the other pressures around them. And then after we become adults, we go to Isha Foundation, go to Art of Living to find the foundation happy again, which is already with you in the beginning. So if I can retain the power to stay happy from the childhood, so I tell the school that instead of just an engineer, a doctor, happy engineer, happy doctor, happy pilot, happy sports person, happy. So add the happy to the what you're doing. So that is what I think today is required. That you just fortify yourself as a human being.
So my next rapid fire question is, Prasad, what does success mean to you?
Man, success, man, I think if you can just go to the bed with a smile on your face, because it's not only the what do you think that day, even that day, like what you've done. If you feel good about okay, boss, I think I don't know best. I know that's the success. Yes, there will be material success of your TRB ratings, all that's the world talks about. But what for you is like if you've gone to the bed, I think boss, I think success actually also me. This is one of my Lintas boss telling me, I think boss, I think success is something, doing something, achieving some pre-agreed goal, whatever, with using pre-agreed resources in a pre-agreed time. Otherwise, he gave me a quotation saying that if you give a typewriter to a monkey and allow it to type, after a million years it may produce Othello. Right? So it's true of anybody. If I give you 100 crores and give you 10 years time and create a brand, anybody can be a brand. But success is something, doing something which you what you determine in advance with the resources which already allocated in a time frame. I think it done, and that's like what success actually in terms of to measure it out in a measurable way. I think
What is it that's something that you deeply believe in, which nobody else around you agrees with you on?
Same thing here. I think people believe that if you're a good guy, you can't win. I mean, people tell me the boss. I think I'm told on my face. Even recently, another entrepreneur told me, Prasad, you're a too good a guy. Like your success will always be hard for you to get. Because, like I said, my success is on the last day of my life. I go to with a smile. That's my success for me in life. Trust me, that will happen only if you live your life correct way. Today, I may even if I earn 1,000 crores, but if I didn't earn it properly, on the last day of my life, there won't be a smile on my face for sure. That time, all will come back to hit you that time.
If you were to invite 3 or 4 people for a dream dinner, who would they be and why?
Dream dinner. Tough one. Sure, at least alerted me for this too. dream dinner. Hey, it will be some of my. I have some amazing friends. In fact, I think actually my dream dinner is like if I leave my family outside, which anyway I think. For me, I'm extremely lucky to have an amazing batch of IMA. My batch. We are it's not cliche, but we're one large family. So like I'm in Delhi tomorrow. I've already posted. So I had hundreds of dinners with the wedding. Every time, like, I'm more excited about the next dinner. So these guys, I think, like, it's amazing, like, they're all like successful, like the Naukri owner, everything. But when we get together, it's just like, we are just back in the, like you're back in the campus. The same naughtiness, same kind of lingo we use. So that really, like, to tell you very honestly, my dream dinner with my batchmates.
Thanks for listening to this episode. For selected links and detailed show notes, visit www.contraminds.com/blog. Follow ContraMinds on social media and let us know who you would like to see next on the podcast. If you're listening to ContraMinds on Apple Podcasts, do share your comments and give us a rating. We are keen to know what you're thinking. ContraMinds is also on YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and stay up to date on all our releases. Thanks for listening and stay safe.